Hi, I'm Michael Prince, and this is your parents' guide for Dauntless. Dauntless is a Monster Hunter game made by Epic Games. Yes, that's the same company who made Fortnite. It's pretty easy to recognize that it was made by Epic Games because of the art style and some of the mechanics of Dauntless. The game takes place in a world called the Shattered Isles. This is a series of floating islands on which live these behemoth beasts that are encroaching on civilization. Your job as a slayer is to go out, hunt these beasts, and destroy them. As you fight them, you cut off pieces of their body, you take those back to an armorer and a weaponsmith who use those things to give you better weapons, better armor, so that you can be more effective at fighting bigger and greater behemoths. I spent quite a few hours this week playing Dauntless. It's a big deal. It released last week, and upon release, it went from 2 million players or so in the beta to almost 6 million, causing server crashes and long wait times and stuff like that. It seems to have caught up pretty well, as I was able to get in and play it pretty easily over the last several days. I spent some time playing by myself, just matchmaking randomly with people online. Then I also contacted some friends who wanted to try it out, and we played for a little while together as well as a hunting party. So, where does Dauntless come in as far as content goes? Well, first of all, let's talk violence. Dauntless is, after all, about hunting, fighting, and killing large monsters. When you fight these monsters, there are some blood effects, like little sprays of blood when you slice down with your sword, but the majority of the violent graphics are ice and fire and things like that, based on the effects of the weapons you're using. There's really no gore to speak of. You do cut off body parts of these beasts, but when you do so, it's not as much gory and gross. Even when you do see a place that something's been severed off, there's no blood, there's no bleeding. It looks more like a cartoon T-bone steak or something like that. There isn't much language to speak of in Dauntless. Really, there's a few words at the beginning, but the rest is just running around, maybe talking to some merchants and stuff to upgrade your gear, but they pretty much have one sentence, stock things that they say. Everything else is reading, and most of that is fairly clean. Language doesn't even make it on the official ESRB rating for why it's T for teen. Again, sexuality is really not an issue. Unless you come across somebody online who's inappropriate, you're not going to find much sexual content of any kind in Dauntless. In fact, even the costumes for female characters are pretty tasteful. You may see a midriff here and there, but that's about it. Dauntless is about finding and hunting and killing very large beasts. You grow, you get better as you go, you have to have determination to go out and be successful, you have to have patience to hunt the beasts in most cases. But most of all, the game requires teamwork. It's easier if you have friends with you playing and going out and hunting creatures. It's a lot easier to kill them, it happens faster if you have a team and you're working together. I think parents need to look at Dauntless as a pretty good alternative to first-person shooter games. While the combat can feel intense because you're fighting this giant monster, you don't feel as threatened as you do when you're on an island with 99 other people and the last man standing wins, like in Fortnite or PUBG. Also, the lack of killing people, the fact that you're just killing these beasts, can set some parents' mind at ease. Parents also should be aware that this game is full of pay-to-play features. There are a lot of armor and weapons that you can buy. There are features you can buy to upgrade your weapons that all cost real money. So the game is free to play, but it is not free all the time. Because if you want the best armor and the coolest looking banner and all the features, you're going to want to buy a hunter's pass and you're going to want to pay for this and pay for that. So if you have trouble with your kids constantly asking you to spend money on the games that they play, Dauntless is going to add to that issue. It is very important to remember that this is an online game. In fact, you can't play it at all without access to the online servers. It's also, like I said, easier to play with friends together, so your kids are going to want to connect with people to play the game. It does do random matchmaking, where you're able to connect with strangers in order to go and hunt in that hunting party. There is a way to turn off the access to hear what they're saying, but that's not password protected. I do recommend still setting time limits in your Xbox, PlayStation, or PC for gaming, because these kinds of games seem to suck up a lot of time before you realize how long you've been playing it. I found myself going late into the night, just deciding to do one more mission, and then, if I get this, I can unlock this armor, so I'll do one more. Oh no, just one more. And I'm a 35-year-old man, so imagine your kids having that same issue. Just remember, video games can be fun. It can be a good way for your friends to spend time together on days where they can't, go physically and be together. But it's also important to limit the amount of time the kids spend doing recreational things on a screen. Give them time outside, being in the green. This has been your parent's guide to Dauntless. Maybe jump in there, have a little fun playing this game with your kid. It's easier to excel at than a first-person shooter, so you may be able to jump in and have just as much fun as you did back in your Zelda days. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Michael Prince from becausefamily.org, familytechblog.com. You can learn how to support Because Family at becausefamily.org/partnership and patreon.com/becausefamily. Thank you very much.